No player in recent weeks has been involved in more clickbait analysis than Erling Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
People who just want to throw out snarky comments about his play and this and that. And look, every player... Is Erling Haaland playing at the absolute top of his game at the moment? No, he's not. He's not. And we talked about this yesterday on the show. And yeah, there are elements and facets of his game that he still is a relatively young player, he's still working on. And when defenders get really tight to him, he's finding that, particularly strong ones like Saliba and Gabriel and Rudiger, sometimes he's finding that a bit difficult. But he's and I repeat what I said in yesterday's show. A lot of times at the moment, his lack of involvement in a game is a consequence of the way this Manchester City side play. Now, take the last few weeks or whatever it is out of the equation. Erling Haaland is the best out-and-out number 9 on the planet. You might say Harry Kane's got more to his game, and you might say Lewandowski's more experienced, and all that sort of, and all these things could be true. But if the biggest of the big are looking for a striker to go forward, and they can get one player, they're taking him. That's the bottom line, and he has been such a phenomenon from such a young early age. And as Jan said, the stats will back that up. The goals will back that up. He's been such a phenomenon that he's been in such a high peg that a lot of people are just desperate. The same people that said, and this is true, oh, I don't know if he'll fit in at Man City. I bet it's the very same people. Yeah. Well, will he fit into City's passing game, this slick passing game? Well, he blew that to smithereens. Not always perfect, but he blew it to smithereens. And there is no doubt that he's suffering a little bit more than normal at the moment. But you know what? Nobody will really fuss about that if Man City have a successful season. But mark my words, and don't know if Erling Haaland or his father or his representatives read or bother about it, but if City are unsuccessful in the Premier League and they are unsuccessful in the Champions League and he does go a bit quiet, trust me, and I'm not saying it's right, but he's going to bear the brunt of some of these people who can't see beyond the clickbait analysis, and they're going to pile on him. And that's just the sort of reputation he's built for himself. And unfortunately, it comes with the territory. But if you started a team tomorrow and you had a striker to choose out of everybody, a number 9, you're taking him.
I think I preferred it when you and Jan were shouting at each other. Luis, what do you make of the criticism of Haaland?
No, again, of course, when a player is not in his best and when he comes from an amazing season, probably one of the best seasons of a striker in the history of football, scoring so many goals at such a young age, at any kind of competition. We're talking about FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League. It doesn't matter. Everybody's shocked now because in a couple of 3 games, he hasn't been involved with the ball into the games. But it's not only, Erling Haaland is not only, and we talk about this the same with Lewandowski for the past 2-3 months. It's not what they can provide with goals. It's what they can provide with their presence into the field. When he's on the field, he attracts players. Rudiger, Tchouaméni or Nacho, they are going to have to be just paying attention on him, and they cannot cover more options. The possibility of Foden to arrive into the outside of the box with a clear chance of shooting is because Rudiger and Tchouaméni, they are covering Erling Haaland, and he's free because no one is closing down that goal. Guardiola scoring is exactly the same. Grealish, when he's arriving to the box, exactly the same. He's not being covered, Carvajal, by Rudiger because they are in charge of Erling Haaland. Because if he's free, he's gonna have the chance of scoring a goal. So I understand that everyone is worried about them to not scoring goal, about Erling Haaland not scoring goals. But in the end, it's about what this team can manage, how they can win games, not making him the top scorer. So he's playing every single minute of every single game, and that means something for Pep Guardiola.
I'll give you an example, just briefly. I'll give you an example. I don't think it's this side of the pitch that's keeping Guardiola up at night. I think it's the other end.
Yeah.
I think Erling Haaland will get his goals. Kevin De Bruyne will be back. All these players, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Julian Alvarez, they will create chances. It's what they do at the other end that will define their season. And we saw again last night against a very, very good Real Madrid side on the counter-attack that, like they have been in the Premier League this season, they've been a little fragile defensively. So trust me, all this Erling Haaland talk, it is not the manager's biggest problem.
Jan, away from Erling Haaland, as a man who watches a lot of football, it's just been a brilliant couple of days, hasn't it?
It's fantastic. I mean, the games yesterday, I was, of course, in a hotel room. I was flipping around. Why isn't UEFA putting them on different times? That is another, I will get in a protest, by the way, because it's too stressed to see both games. But fantastic adverts for football. And a little point I was thinking, they say the away rules, because yesterday was 3-3 and 2-2, meaning that's 10 goals, doesn't count for anything somehow. But... But it's funny enough that I think that because of the away rules is gone, the home team can play more offensive. They can go for it, because if Real Madrid, maybe a bad example because Real Madrid is so a good team, but teams that are playing good teams at home, they have to play more carefully. No, you just go for it. And I like that. I like that the coaches now who is successful are the coaches that is going for it. And yesterday, fantastic. Even Bayern coming back. I mean, after 3-2 in Heidenheim, they get a 2-2 at Emirates. I mean, what's going on with football right now?
It is absolutely brilliant, and of course it continues next week, those second legs, and it's a busy month for Manchester City. They're of course in FA Cup action as well, in games you can see live on ESPN Plus as they come and take on Chelsea at Wembley on the Saturday, and then Sunday, April 21st, it's Coventry against Manchester United. Those games exclusively on ESPN Plus.